It all started a few thousand years ago with our world. A lot of things happened over the course of thousands of years, and out of that came something that has saved us and moved us along like never before, and it will save us again. The entrepreneurial spirit. Have you built a billion-dollar company from nothing? Let me ask you truthfully. Have you built a billion-dollar company? He's done it 3 times. But he's got other specialties. He's known throughout Europe as an internet technology visionary, an IT visionary. He understands cryptocurrency. He understands the digital technology. He understands digital money. He understands blockchain. He gets it. So let's go to the looking glass. And when we go to the looking glass, there is only one question that has to come to mind. What's next? So, here we are again. Now, these 3 things, I'm going to show you what they are. You know them. Crowd1, the crowd, and the CEO. And the reason I'm bringing them up is because it's really important. These are the 3 main elements that create the cause and effect of everywhere we are going. So let's start fresh now for a moment. Here they are. So remember where I left off. They had an idea, the concept, the vision, creating the 1-minute phone business that people can use to build their lives, get out of lives, and this guy can turn around and say, hey, wait a minute, we could go in a whole new direction. That's where we were. Now let's look at something, the nuts and bolts of what's really going on in here. You ready? So, Crowd1 comes out with the phone, the business, and what does that do? Well, that pulls in the people. And the people are coming in. Why? Because the people, this is pretty easy, you guessed it, the people are making money. It's there. Everybody's joining in. And the more money that's made, oh, and, well, dare I say, the more money that is made, the more products that are coming in, the more expansion that we have, the bigger we get the crowd power. And this is absolutely key to what is going on here. The bigger the power becomes, the bigger the crowd, the more power. The bigger the crowd, the more power. And the bigger it becomes, what do you really get? Oh, this is a good one. You get influence. Influence? Well, yeah. Think about it. If you got 25 million people in your club, are you saying to me you can't talk to businesses and get better deals for these people? Are you telling me that we're not going to get deals and services and VIP? Come on, guys, really? When you build influence, and the bigger the power goes, bigger the influence. Influence begins to find its way. Influence begins to work its magic. Influence begins to move things. And when you got influence, what do you really got? You got something called control. Control? Yeah. Watch how it works. I got airline company number 1 and airline company number 2. Okay, guys. So, I have crowd power. I got 10 million people in Crowd1. And next year, we are going to want to be flying around the world when things get better. Now, just stop for a minute. This is speculating. This is not Crowd1 policy. This is just me showing you a scenario of how the control kicks in. Airline company 1, airline company 2. So, we want deals. Now, 10 million aren't going to fly, but say 2 million will fly. So, who's going to give me a better deal? What are you going to give me? Well, we'll give you 10% off. Pfft, no interest. What about you? We'll give you 12. 12? Are you kidding me? Guys, come on. Can we make it something bigger, please? And Swedish Airlines kick up. Oh, Swedish. What will you give us? We'll give you 25%. 25%? Wow, you got a deal. We're controlling the shots now. We're controlling. We're able to get you, the crowd, better benefits, better deals, better discounts, better VIP service. We're going to be able to give you so much more. Why? Because this crowd is getting huge, which gives us the influence that we need, which gives us the control. The one that controls the crowd has much to control. And when we get control, what are we really getting? What's next? Well, I'll show you what's next. You ready? We get to create new rules. New rules? Yeah. How does that work? I'll show you how it works. Can all the business people sit down, please? Yeah, grab a seat, grab a seat, grab a seat. You all good? Excellent. So now, how many millions do we have now? 90 million. Okay, so Crowd1, we got 90 million people now. And we want to be able to give our 90 million people the best deals, the best service, everything. Nothing but the best. And you folks are going to be making offers to us. But we're going to create some new rules of doing business. If you want to be able to get to us to be able to give these folks what they want, we're going to lay out a whole new way of doing business. Some rules are going to change, where we're no longer coming hat in hand to you. You are now going to be coming to us. You are going to be offering us your best because you want a piece of the crowd power. And we will show the people, and the people will let us know who wins and who loses. So we're going to be rewriting a whole new batch of rules. See how it works? And what are you going to do? It's still fair. We're just taking the advantage from you, and we're giving it to us. We want better deals. We want better deals. We'd like better discounts. We want better service. Let's go, guys. Let's make it happen. Boom. This is really powerful. It's all coming. You following me? Now, what's really happening? Really happening? This. Most people are afraid of this. Most people will fight this tooth and nail. What the heck is this? You ready? Change. Pioneers eat change. They go. Let's go. Let's fly. Let's go. Let's sail. Let's do the mountain, the bottom of the ocean. Let's take it on. Let's try it. Most people don't want to do change. I'd rather just stay home drinking my tea, watching my TV show. Please, don't give me anything new. Don't challenge me. Can't I just have it all the way it's always been? Can't we just go back to the old status quo? Remember, you know, the progress, the trade. Can't we just do it all the way? Do we have to go into the whole digital? Do we have to learn? Do I have to learn? Do I have to do this? Really? Yeah. If you want to progress, because the world is changing anyway. We're evolving. But most people resist change. In fact, they have fear of change. Now, fear of change is very interesting because the truth about change, it's a double-edged sword. And right now, we're on this side of it. Fear of change. They just don't want to change. They'll fight tooth and nail. Fear, F-E-A-R. It's fake evidence appearing real. But in most cases, it's not real at all. But to them, it's real. To what? To the resistance. It's real. There's a lot of people that don't want change. There's a lot of people that fear change. They fear the fact that cryptocurrency is coming in. They fear the fact that the digital revolution is coming in. They fear the fact that the way things used to be, we're having to look at maybe changing things. There are massive establishments of power on planet Earth that just want things to stay the way they are. We print off the money and you use it. We print it, you use it. Give us more paper. We print it, you use more paper. We print, you use more. All right, there we go. And now, a new reality is happening to where even they don't want to deal with it, but they have to look at it. But there's resistance. And resistance comes in a few packages. You ready? Bad press. Fake news, the haters, smearing campaigns. You're not who you say you are. Didn't you go out of business? You never wrote a book. You're just this. All of this lies, misinformation and lies. For example, the bad press, that newspaper that came out, what was it? This was sent to me this morning. Whoa, Crowd1, invest in Crowd1 at your own risk. Should we look closer? Online firm under investigation in Norway. Didn't we cover that the last time? Yes, we did. Burundi government has closed its operations. Remember what I told you? We went through the investigation into Norway. We went through the whole investigation into Norway, and it was nothing. Why are they still promoting it, guys? Plus, the 300 people that were arrested, that were really 17 people, and really what it came down to was the Burundi government does not appreciate nor like the fact that Crowd1 or any company is dealing in cryptocurrency. What's cryptocurrency? Digital money. But the blue headline, who created the headline? Who decided to put in that fake news and that old news and blend it together as an important news flash headline, which was all out of date and incorrect, to sell the message underneath that Crowd1 was a scam? Well, that wasn't the reporter that put all that together. That's called the editor-in-chief of the newspaper. Okay, so who does the editor-in-chief of the newspaper work for? He works for these folks. And do these folks care whether or not there's truth or lies? Well, I think they would care. Did they say anything to him? Well, clearly they didn't, because he printed it. So he can get away with, oh, this news is really out of date, but if we mix it with this, oh, boom, we're going to convince everybody in our country that Crowd1 is a scam. Why? It's legal in Europe. It's doing 170 countries legally. Why are we doing this? What's the plan? What's the plan, big guy? Well, the plan is we don't want people getting into Crowd1. But why? Because we don't want people getting into Crowd1. Okay. That's called resistance. That's called bad press. That's called fake news. That's called misinformation. That's called smearing. Haters? Yeah. Or people with an agenda. It's in the newspaper's interest to move the population away from Crowd1 to wherever else. I don't know. But they're losing their power. And that creates haters, enemy, problems. This is the ugly side of it. However, change creates the other side of the sword, something absolutely wonderful. Now, come on, all you successful people out there. If resistance and fear of change is on one side, what do you think also comes out of change? What does change also give us? Come on, what's the bet? Anybody got any ideas? Let me hear. Did you say opportunity? Opportunity knocks when change appears. Most people never see the opportunity. They never hear the opportunity. They don't go near the opportunity. Why? Because fake evidence appearing real, man. Whoa, no. But to the pioneers, to the people that will get up and go up the mountains or go in a test flight, supersonic, to test pilots, to those people, they see opportunity. Now, what does opportunity bring us? Well, this is where we get to the gold. You ready? Opportunity, change creates opportunity to replace what is not working with something new that stimulates progress. Wow. Now this, our CEO, Mr. von Holsting, he did in Sweden, he did a news broadcast, an interview show. And they were asking him a few questions, and he was talking about the issue with Sweden way back during the time of the recession, the 2008 and getting into 2010, all of the trouble the world was going through. Sweden had fallen into, it just became a quagmire of no progress. There was no real flow of trade. It was just there. And he was in a position, him and a few others, that were in the government. He was a member of the culture, in the culture department of the government, and his companies and people that he knew, they were in a position to be able to make change, which produced opportunity. They got things happening in Sweden that allowed the blockage to be cleared. And he says how Sweden became more vibrant. Money and trade started to flow again, and the country was saved. The country was saved. The country became better. This is what he does. This guy goes into areas, and he wants change to happen, so he can replace what's not working with stuff that is working. An entrepreneurial spirit kicks in. Progress begins. People step in and they participate, and ideas and thoughts, and boom, he begins to generate the progress. That's what he does. That's his other skill outside of building billion-dollar businesses. This is his other skill. But looky, maybe you're thinking, oh, did I miss something out? There he is. This is what he does. And look, here's his other skill. He understands something called disruptive innovation. Disruptive innovation. Okay, what the heck is that? What's disruptive innovation? The powers that be, that have been around for hundreds of years, monolithic powers that be, that are so used to doing what they do, they're experiencing something called disruptive innovation that shakes them up a little bit. Disruptive innovation is new ways of doing business outside of the power block that's been in place for hundreds of years. They can feel tremors from these upstarts known as the disruptive innovation crowd. But with cryptocurrency, with digital technology that's coming in, the status quo are beginning to realize we can't ignore this. We can't ignore this. We need to be able to find a way of working together. You see, in India, you know India, right? The country India. A few months ago, their Supreme Court said, you know what? We are going to allow cryptocurrency to be traded and so forth into our country. Prior to that, they would not allow cryptocurrency to be traded in their country. Absolutely not. Why? The government and the central bank, they didn't want it. The rest of the world, America, Canada, they were negotiating, working their way. It was becoming more real all over the world. India wouldn't budge. But somewhere in there, somewhere in the banking mind, when those bankers and those accountants and the best people that they got started to talk to other best people, and an understanding was this: guys, you can't avoid this. Disruptive innovation is coming. The whole digital thing is happening. You cannot avoid this. You have to be able to bend and work and negotiate and find your way of getting in. Otherwise, you're going to end up getting left behind. And somehow they did. And everybody signed off on it, and India, Supreme Court, approves, and everybody's trading, everybody's buying and selling now. We're all doing great. Because the key players that wouldn't move, they got shook. And they realized this can't be avoided. So, let's make a deal. Boom, deal made. This forces people to think. This forces the establishment to realize there's new players. And von Holstein is one of these new players. And guess what else? Disruptive innovation, he comes through with disruptive technology. Disruptive technology. We got the innovation of disruptive innovation, but now the technology. The means of understanding cryptocurrency. What does he call it? He calls it, in one of his speeches, he says about the gig economy. The new way is going to be the gig economy, where everybody, it's all broken down into microtransactions. It's not being controlled by one bank. A whole new way of doing business. This guy specializes in this. This guy builds the billion-dollar companies. He's the IT visionary. This guy specializes in this. And when he sees all of what's happening, this guy, he shows you this. What he's really doing, where he's really going to go, is here. He's going to create new markets, because that's what he does. Look, he's come across something so unique. He's got the company where they're able to, they've got the business, they've got it up and going. They're bringing in products, boom, boom, boom. It's all moving in a nice direction. The crowd is getting bigger than ever before. This guy can say, wow, with all of this, we could change everything. We could change everything, and we could create an opportunity of creating new markets, new avenues of trade. New avenues of trade where people didn't even realize we can create new avenues of trade. That's what he specializes in. That's what he's doing. So what are going to be these new avenues of trade? Well, in the year 2000, I was in New York City, and I was presenting a pitch. I was pitching a vision to 8 New York City bankers. The vision was something called broadband. Now this is 2000. And I said to them, so broadband is going to be able, it's online, it's the internet, it's broadcasting. And I told them and showed them the power of broadcast from the broadcasting from the radio in the 1930s. and how it affected the world. And then I showed them the power of television broadcasting and how that affected the world. And I showed them the effects of cinema and how that had its impact. And I talked to them broadcasting, broadband, on the internet, out to millions of people, out to entire populations, movies, television, broadcasting, films, boom, boom, boom. And they looked, and to my dismay, they couldn't see the vision. And I was like, wow. And I remember saying something along these lines. So let me understand this. I have here in this beautiful hotel room 8 New York City bankers. And between all of you, the truth is you probably own a quarter of the United States of America. And with that comes all of the advisors, the best advisors in the world, the best thinkers, the best strategists, the best at your disposal. And are you seriously telling me that with all your wealth, all your capital, all your assets, all the best advisors that your wealth could bring in, and nobody, as in nobody, has enlightened you on the power of broadcasting, the power of broadband? Guys, you have seriously got to be kidding me. No, they didn't get it. They had no vision. True story. Oh, 4 years later, YouTube was born. They had vision, but the 8 bankers couldn't see past the spectacles on their nose. Nothing. Lost. True story. So, to create the new markets, we've got to have a vision. So now, let me show you this. Now this, we're going to go from here, but I want to show you. This you know. We're going to now go into the Crowd1, which we're aware of. And we're going to know the crowd, which we know about the crowd. It's a whole new perspective now. Stay with me. And we're going to go to the CEO. And in this little space, we mix this together. And the Crowd1, the company, the leadership, the crowd, the people, the men, the women, all of them, and the CEO that's guiding the ship in that direction. When they all work together, they create this. So, take a look. Crowd1, with the crowd, with the CEO, have created the space, created the energy, created the vibration, the resonance, this space to where all races, all peoples united under one common cause to make a better life for themselves. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I think I know what you might be thinking, or some of you. Chris, man, you're overdoing it. This is a multi-level marketing stuff, man. It's a company. This is not what you're saying. 2 things. Remember, I'm telling you a story. But let's ground it just a tad. One reality is, and with all due respect, if that's how you're seeing it, then you're lacking vision, with all due respect. He has put 10 years of his life into Crowd1, meaning, see, he knows the owner, Mr. Eric Werner. They know each other. And there's been plenty of times where they've sat, obviously, to discuss business. They've also relaxed and discussed life. The problems, the solutions, potential solutions. They've discussed many things. And they've learned to know each other over the years. So, with him making his business decision of bringing this guy in, and him knowing how he thinks and his specialties, they know where they're going. The question is, are they able to get there? They know where they're going. So, with his specialties in stepping in and creating new markets, where this crowd can flourish, and I mean flourish, it's very doable. If these guys get it right, it is very, very doable. But let's go one little, let's go to the center core here. When they do their broadcasting, which they did, what, 3 weeks ago? Remember the magic show? Boom, here we are, Crowd1, our first live event, all across the world, multiple languages, doing the magic show, while we're also introducing new products, new services. Here we are. That was the first time they'd really sent out the signal, bing, that Crowd1 is here. Crowd1 is alive. Crowd1's going nowhere. Today, we're broadcasting magic show. Tomorrow, we're broadcasting movies, TV, documentaries, shows, specials, how-tos, what-nots, and everything coming at you 24/7. Where did they get all this material from? Hello? The crowd. The crowd are going to be a part of the creative process. They're going to be giving their ideas. Look, when I'm on the phone, all the people sending me messages, and I'm back and forth to so many of these Crowd1 people, there is an excitement in the air. In my team alone, it has to be all the other teams, there is an excitement, there is ideas, there's a flow of ideas, a flow of electricity going on from people to people to people. People are getting ideas, they're coming up with new things, new ways of doing this, adding that. Could you imagine 25 million, 30 million, 40 million people, and Crowd1 is able to broadcast? Can you imagine the participation, grassroots participation from these people? They will be contributing, participating, getting involved, recommending. It's going to flourish like a botanical gardens of all races, colors, together, blooming. Do I really believe it? Absolutely. Yeah. When you look at the little telltale little signs of where they've been going, what they've been launching, and you look at how this crowd is just resonating towards them, and you look at the leadership and his specialties of where, do you honestly think he's going into all of this to create Saturday Night Lotto? Every Saturday night, this is the height of our existence? Bing, number 7, you win 40,000 euros, you lucky people. No. That's one tiny piece of a whole movement that is going to create markets that this crowd, you, are going to be flourishing in. For a better life. I kid you not. Now, I'm going to go to my next board. And it's got 3 very powerful wows that are going to get you drooling and filled with excitement. Are you ready? Let's check it out. Okay, this then is the main event. Now pay attention. I got 3 wows. It's all good news. If we get this right, in a nutshell, what is this series? These next few episodes coming out, what is it going to be about? To be clear, this is a story, you ready? about how Crowd1 came from nowhere, excited the common people, and became one of the most influential companies of our time. Oh, wow, really? Chris, come on, we told you, this is a marketing company, man. It's just a company. It's not just a company. If they get this right, let's look at the facts. What are facts we can work with, okay? First off, the company is legal. It's doing business in 170 countries. It's expanding. It's got, what, close to 5 million people. 2 weeks ago, it had, what, 3 million people? 3 weeks before that, a month before that, had 2 million, etc. It is 30 to 35 million people, 35,000 people a day are getting on. It's expanding fast. It's catching the leadership by surprise, man. They had no idea it was going to expand this quick. It's legal. It's expanding. They're adding more stuff to it. Broadcasting, TV station, Epic Lottos, the gambling thing, the mixer, other things they're bringing in, the other products they're moving through. They're moving as fast as they can to feed this huge crowd. That gives them influence. They're anticipating around 20 to 25 million people by the end of this year. That's called influence. By the end of next year, they're anticipating close to 50 million people. That's called influence. The year after, 5 years down the line, that's called power, control. This is not just Herbalife. This is not New Skin. This is not Amway or this or that or this. This is something where it's caught the imagination of the people. I can build my business on here and make a ton of money and get myself up and out of poverty. I'll take it. For 99 euros, I'll take it. I'll work day and night. I'll do it. The people, the structure that's been in power for so long, the ones that can clean us out anytime they want without fear of getting caught. People are fed up with this. The people want change. They do. They want change. They're fed up knowing that there's others up there who can just tear our lives apart at any time for their own gain. They want change. They want something else to step into. They want things to happen in a different way, in a new way. Hello? The new technology coming in, the new digital wave that's coming, Sovereign Sky is coming in, other companies are coming in, Crowd1 is coming in. These companies are coming in. They're changing up the status quo. The power tables are going from this to that. For the first time, you got people, common people, that are able to come together and build an enormous business that will give the people at the top a moment of pause. Because something is happening. People want change. And there's companies that are coming in on the digital wave and they're bringing change. Crowd1 is one of those companies. They're gaining the influence. The people are saying, we trust the leadership of Crowd1. They're saying, look, every time they put in their 99 euros, I trust you. I trust you. Don't abuse that trust. And they won't. And they haven't. And they're not. I was in Sweden for 4 days. I met the leadership. I wasn't just having a handshake, pose for a photograph. I was there for days. I met these people. I didn't meet von Holstein, but I met the founder, Mr. Werner. I met his top people. Not for 3 minutes. Days. Days. All day. The dinners, the meetings, Went through it all. At one point, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, downtown Sweden, out in the middle of the street, and we were just talking. I learned so much about these people. Here's the bottom line. They're good, honorable people. That was my impression after spending all these days with them. They've been through the ringer like everybody else. They've had to learn how to survive like everybody else. They've had to learn how to hustle, how to move, how to shake, how to take a hit, how to deliver. They've learned how to survive, man, in the real world. These guys have learned how to be able to do it. And they got something that is bringing in millions of people. And there is a concept here that you can actually get yourself up and out of poverty, where a bank wouldn't touch you because I'm not going to give you the likes of a credit card. You're kidding me. You got nothing. Go talk to somebody else. And then they buy with their 99 euros the business, and within months, they're pulling in 300 or 400 euros a week. That's called progress. It's not called scam. It's called progress. I get a little hot under the collar here every now and then. This is influence, folks. This is a new business coming in on a new wave with a new angle, with a new leadership, bringing it through to create new markets. Boom. Wow, number 2. Crowd1 has the potential to grow into a massive global movement. Oh, wow, really? Yeah, really. You believe that? I absolutely do believe it. I'm not just saying I believe it because I believe it, the way some of you would say, well, I don't believe it because I don't believe it. I actually researched and went through and dedicated months of work, research, questioning so many angles, that if you were with me going through, we'd have great debates. But at the end of the day, you'd be able to see there's a reality here we just can't avoid. If these guys get this right, you're going to have tens of millions of people getting on. The new payouts just happened. The other day, the payouts. What do you think that's done? It shows all over the world, people, hey, look, Crowd1 is paid. Payouts, payouts, payouts. It's real. They just opened the doors. You want to see liftoff? Hold on to your seats, folks, because it's about to happen. All those that think this company is just multi-level marketing, I said it before, you lack vision, you don't see. Here it is, a huge global movement that is going to do what? 2 major things, if these guys get this right. If they get it right, will lead this dynamic change to become a billion-dollar company. Billion-dollar company. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wow, Chris, man, you tell stories better than Disney. Yeah, you'd think that, wouldn't you? But if you take the emotion away from it all, and you actually look at the plot points, and you actually watch my next couple of episodes, you're going to see how this could actually really happen in real time for real. And if I'm right, and you have a stake in this business, in this Crowd1, you're going to be laughing all the way to the bank. And if you don't have a stake, that's fine. It's your choice. It's cool. Here's the bottom line. We got a real company that's doing real business, and it's been coming out of the land of the murky oceans of multi-level marketing, that dark, scammy world of blah, 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 where some of the companies come out and they are scams. Other companies come out like Herbalife and Nu Skin and Amway. They're not. They're billion-dollar companies. They've been around for decades. Crowd1 is coming out of there. But it's got a whole new angle. A 1-minute business on your phone. You can get yourself out of poverty. And that is resonating all across the world to where it is going to grow big. Now, I've got a couple of episodes coming through that are going to show you how this is going to work, how this is all going to unfold if these guys get it right. And here's the magic word. You want the magic word? Where the new markets are going, what's really happening here? It's real simple. Imagine this. It's called ecosystem. Ecosystem. Imagine a beautiful lawn and a big glass dish that goes on the grass. It's hollow inside. Boom. And inside that dish are millions of people. Hundreds of millions of people. And what do they all do? What do they all get that the rest of us don't get? Well, it's called Crowd1 World. And in Crowd1 World, they're wheeling and dealing. They're trading. They're building little businesses within the business. They're trading and exchanging, and they're growing vibrantly with their specials and deals and things that are happening. Broadcasting 24/7, ideas and concepts coming to life. Wow. It's called an ecosystem. It's not just a business. They have the potential of building an ecosystem. And the CEO, he has to know this. This is his territory, man. This is why he's putting in 10 years. He knows. He must know this. If he doesn't know it, I'd be unbelievable. Are you trying to tell me he's like one of those bankers? No vision? Not possible. This man's got vision. When you can get an audience of a group of people, 100 million, you're building an ecosystem. And this ecosystem has vibrant trade. That's what's going on. And in the center of all of that, that broadcasting ping that we heard a few weeks ago, Crowd1, broadcasting. And the people will be involved in participating in that broadcasting. Now, if you watch these next few episodes coming up, I'm going to show you, teach you, 3 very important things. 1, I'm going to show you and teach you how to be able to position yourself inside this new world. I'm going to help you how to prepare for this new world that is coming through. Where Crowd1 could be going, I'm going to help you prepare for it. And number 3, I'm going to show you how you can add value to yourself within this Crowd1 world. Now, I'm not talking about buying the packs, the white, the black, the gold, the titanium. That's all part of that. I'm talking about getting you prepared, getting you positioned, and showing you how you can actually add value in the world that I'm pretty sure is going to be unfolding over the next few years. This is what I'm talking about. This is going to be Crowd1. So, now you're seeing it. You're getting a taste. I'm going to show you the nuts and bolts, where this is going to be going, and how it can improve your lot like never before. Okay? So, stay with me for the next episode. I'm Christopher Healy. Remember, if you like it, subscribe, ring the little bell, and leave comments. And if you're going to leave a negative comment, that's cool. But you don't have to be so rude. Why be rude? Why be filthy about it? If you want to stand up and have a debate, go. But don't bother being rude. Please, be respectful. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and I'll see you again.